Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make your own custom orbit node in Blender, and this is really simple, right? So essentially what this node does is you can plug any sort of geometry into it and it'll orbit it. So you can go Shift A, search, for example. Here I can type in Suzanne. I don't think you get the Suzanne directly in here. Maybe I can type in cube, right? I'll get a mesh primitive cube. I'll plug it into the geometry. Now it's a cube. I can also affect the orbit diameter like this. I can affect the orbit speed, make it go really fast. We can also affect the Z height over here using the Z value. So you can see here, it's just a custom little node. So this could be your first ever little custom node that you make in geometry nodes to do a thing with. So I can, turn the speed down here. So this can be fantastic for all sorts of geometry nodes projects. And what I actually use this for, you can see this is the orbit node here. I've just got a whole bunch of them plugged in, and I've got this UV sphere going in. And then I made this effect using it. So there's all sorts of cool applications for this custom node. So yeah, keep watching, and I'll upload this to Patreon if you guys are interested to check it out, the ones supporting the channel. But this is a free little tutorial you can watch on YouTube that can expand your knowledge of geometry nodes, and it really isn't too complicated. These are the nodes we're dealing with here. So let's jump in, and I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so the new scene opened up in Blender. And by the way, like I said, I'm using Blender 5.1. What you want to do is you want to select the default cube and you want to go over to your geometry nodes workspace. Now, this is what it's going to look like for you. Now, I have my own custom workspace. It's the exact same thing. I've only rearranged it a little bit differently, so it's easier for you guys to see, but it's the same thing. You've got the workspace here for your nodes, and then you have your 3D works viewport here. Okay, so what you're gonna do with that object selected, you're gonna come over here to your node network area. You're gonna click new to create a node network. And this is actually really straightforward. So what we'll do, we'll go Shift A, we'll go search, and we'll type in transform, and we wanna transform the geometry. Now the reason we're using the transform and not the set position is with the set position, you are accessing the individual vertices or faces, edges, whatever data you're working with, and you can manipulate them separately using like the vectors, right? In this case, we're just trying to take the whole object as one and translate, rotate, or scale its position in 3D space. That's why we're using the transform geometry. And what we're going to be using is the translation here. So that's essentially the movement. And using some very simple maths, we're going to make it move around on the X and the Y at the same time. That's going to give us our orbit. So let's get started by going Shift A. We're going to go search, and we're going to go and type in cosine, and we're going to get the cosine over here. And then we're going to go Shift A, search, and get the sine, and get the math sine, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Shift A, search, and get the scene time. And the reason we're using the scene time, essentially what this does, this adds a value when we run our animation. So essentially for every second of time that goes past, it'll add out a value, or every frame, right? And this gives us something a value that can increase as our timeline is running here, which is important because obviously we want this to be dynamic, we want it to move, not just be a solid standing object. So what we want to do, we'll start with the cosine here, and we're going to be working here with seconds. So we're going to take the seconds, and we're going to plug it into the value here. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go Shift A, search, and we're going to get a combine, right? We're going to get a combine X, Y, Z. And let's take the cosine here, and we're actually going to plug it into the X, like so, right? So if we come over here, we hit the space bar, you're not going to see anything happening yet, because we actually need to plug this vector here from the combine into the translation, right? So if we now come, we should be able to come to frame 1 and hit the space bar, and you can see that this is now moving along the X, right? That's the cosine, and you can see it's actually moving back and forth. Now, what we could do to increase that distance, right? Because at the moment, I think it's actually doing it by default between 0 and 1. That's how the cosine works in Blender. So what we can do, we can go Shift A, search, and we can multiply. So we're gonna go math. Let's go to utilities math, place it on here. We can change it to multiply, and we should be able to multiply it by a bigger value. And you can see this is kind of what happens here. Now, if I quickly grab this multiply and I mute it, you can see it's much less of a movement. Now, the reason this is not looking the way we want it to yet is because we also want to combine it with a sine. So a very simple way to do that is to take our sine over here, plug it in to, in this case, the Y, because remember, we want it to go along the X and the Y like this. And then we're going to use that same seconds input here in the value. And now, okay, we're kind of getting a combination of the both of them over here, as you can see. Now, it's not very evident, so what we need to do is we need to grab the multiply, we need to press M to unmute it, and then we're going to go Shift D to duplicate, move that guy down. And I think my mistake here was putting the multiply. Sorry, I forgot. We want to actually take the multipliers here. So I'm going to grab this multiply, I'm going to go Shift D, place it between the cosine and the combine. And I'm going to go Control X and just delete this multiply. And this multiply here, we want to have it after the sign here, like so. And now you can see we're in business. So now essentially we can use these two values here to determine how big or wide we want our orbit to be. So for now, let's just grab this value over here in the multiply. Let's just type in value, right? And we'll just kind of right click, we'll go and we should be able to rename this. And let's call this, the label we'll call orbit width, okay? And let's take this and plug it into the value of this multiply here as well. So now we can simultaneously take this orbit width and we can actually control how the diameter. Okay, I should have really called it the orbit diameter, but let's just go with orbit width for now. So you get the idea here. This is how far out it's going to go. So now we've created a very simple orbit node. Now, at this point, you can call that an orbit node, but what we really want to do is we want to be able to control the speed as well, not just the actual like orbit width. So what we're going to do, we're going to come here to the scene time. We're going to hold in Shift and just kind of cut these two cables together by right-clicking and dragging through. And then we're going to go Shift A search and get a math, get a multiply. So just a normal math, but we'll change it from add to multiply. There we go. And now this will act as our speed. So we can drag in this value and we can type in value, get that value. Let's right click here. Let's rename that as speed. Okay, so we've got our orbit width, our orbit speed over here. So now we've got two variables we can control. So we can control the speed of our orbit and we can control the diameter. So I'm going to actually come here and type in orbit diameter. Cool, so I'm going to bring the speed down to 1, but there we have it. So this is a very simple sort of orbit setup here. One more thing you can do as well, it's just an extra little thing, is we can actually use this value over here, the Z, to control the height. So if you want it to be higher or lower, you can add something to that. But what we'll do, we'll just leave that as 0 for now. When we actually turn this into a custom node, we'll plug that in. But I just wanted you to kind of understand what's going on here. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to turn this into its own custom node. So it's not this sort of mess over here. So we just have one simple little package. We can drag, we can add in whenever we want and then plug something into it. So what we're going to do, we'll actually grab the scene time here and all of these nodes here. So the ones I have selected here, forget about the speed and the orbit diameter. Just want these guys over here. Okay. And we're going to go Control G or Command G. And now it's inside of a group here. And you can actually press Tab to go outside of the group. Okay, so we're popping out here. And now what we have here is we have our orbit diameter in here and our speed in here. And we have this node here, right? But what we need to do as well, and I forgot to actually grab the transform geometry. So don't worry too much about that. Let's just delete the transform geometry for now. Let's just actually go into our node group. Let's come into here. Let's go Shift A search and get a transform geometry. Make sure this is going into the translation. And then also make sure that the geometry output is going into this group output here, like so. And now we can tab back out and let's just grab our group output. So this is our geometry going in here, right? And inside of this node group, if I select it again, I just tab inside of here. Currently, we just have our group input here. But if you see here, currently we have no geometry going in here. So what we want to do is we just want to take this transform geometry. We want to plug that geometry into this, inside of this network here. We want to plug it into the group input socket. So if we tab back out, okay, we can actually take our group input now and plug that into the geometry. So we can actually see our cube here again. Right, so now we have this node. We're also going to just, with this node selected, press N. I'm going to go over to node and let's give it a label and call it orbit, or maybe even orbit node. There we go, orbit node. You can come here to the color, enable that, and maybe give it its own custom color to make it look a bit more official like that. So now we have our little orbit node here, but we can go a step further. We can actually name these values so we don't have to rely on these sliders. So let's start by going into here and Actually, we'll delete these two, the orbit and the speed. We'll delete them. Now we just have these values here. But what we can do, we can press N to bring up our properties here. We can go to our group, and I think we actually have to tab into the node here. There we go. Tabbing into the node under our group, we can go down here, and this socket over here at the top, that is our speed. So no, that's actually our orbit width. So I'll double click and call it orbit, and let's go diameter. Okay, there we go. And we'll double click on this one and call it orbit speed, this value. We'll also grab our geometry and just drag it to the top here. There we go. So it's sitting at the top. And now we'll tab back out. And if you look here, now we have this orbit node. And we have here, if you look, we have the orbit diameter, so we can control that. And we have the orbit speed here. So if I give this something like this, I can increase the speed. We can see we now have this rotating like so. How cool is that, right? One more thing we can do is just quickly select the node here, tab in, and let's just grab that Z value and let's take it all the way here and plug it into this group input. Press N, let's just go to the group here and let's just double click on this and call it orbit height. And I'll just put here in brackets Z so we know it's on the Z direction. There we go. So I'm gonna tab back out and now we have this. Now we can also control the height. Now the cool thing is with this custom orbiter node that we have here, we can also just delete the group input. We can go Shift A search and maybe type in sphere, get a UV sphere and plug that into the geometry. And now we have that rotating, as you can see here. That's really, really cool. One more thing I might just add in as another little feature in here is just Shift A search and I'll type in set shade and get a set shade smooth. So if I was only using this node, it would automatically smooth it out for me as well, but you don't have to do that. You can do that as a separate node, but here we have a little custom orbiting node here. And I'll quickly show you, this is just something I want to show you. I actually use these orbit nodes, and so this is the orbit node here, and I actually used them, and I combined a whole bunch of them with one UV sphere going into all of them, and then I multiplied the orbit speed by a increasing value like here. So it starts at 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, and then a value of 1. And all of those have a value input. So now I can create this effect over here with these offset speeds on these rotating orbs, which is really cool. So I've created this sort of custom effect here using this custom orbit node that I've just showed you guys how to make. So that is the tutorial. I'll upload this to my Patreon if you guys are interested. And I might actually upload this one here, which is a more, it's not really that advanced. It just looks complicated, but it's actually quite simple. But if you guys want to play around with it, try out this orbit node. And thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.